Jake was a part-time delivery driver for an app that promised fast, late-night deliveries. It was a quiet Thursday night, and he was about to clock out when a new request came in. The order was simple: a small package to be delivered to an address in the countryside. The payout was unusually high, nearly 3 times the standard rate. Jake hesitated but figured the extra cash was worth the inconvenience. The address wasn't far, but the location was peculiar, nestled deep in a rural area with no nearby landmarks. When he entered the address into his GPS, it showed up as a blank patch of land. Still, the app insisted the location existed, and curiosity got the better of him. As Jake drove out of the city, the streetlights faded behind him, replaced by the oppressive darkness of the countryside. His headlights were the only source of light as he navigated the winding, empty roads. The GPS guided him deeper into the woods, the paved road turning into gravel, then dirt. After about 30 minutes, Jake arrived at the pin on his GPS. He stopped the car and looked around. There was no house, just an empty clearing surrounded by towering trees. Confused, he checked the app again. The instructions were clear: leave the package at the front door. What front door? He muttered to himself. He stepped out of the car, package in hand. The night was eerily silent, the kind of quiet that made his skin crawl. As he walked toward the clearing, he noticed something strange: a faint light flickering deep in the woods. It was barely visible, but it was there, like the glow of an old lantern. Curiosity pulled him toward the light. As he moved closer, the air grew colder, and a faint smell of burning wood filled his nostrils. Finally, he came upon it, a small, decrepit cabin that looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. The cabin shouldn't have been there. It wasn't on any map, and the app's GPS didn't show it either. Yet, here it stood, bathed in the flickering glow of an oil lamp hanging on its porch. Jake hesitated. Every instinct told him to turn around and leave, but the app's instructions replayed in his mind: leave the package at the front door. He figured he'd drop it off and get out as fast as possible. As he climbed the creaking steps of the porch, he noticed something odd: the package felt heavier than it had before. He shook it lightly but heard nothing inside. Deciding not to linger, he placed the box on the porch and turned to leave. But as he descended the steps, a voice called out behind him. "Wait, don't go." Jake froze. The voice was soft, almost pleading, but it didn't sound right. It was as though several people were speaking at once, their tones overlapping in a discordant harmony. Slowly, he turned back toward the cabin. The package was gone. The door to the cabin was now slightly ajar, though he was sure it had been closed when he arrived. From inside, the flickering light cast long, unnatural shadows that twisted and stretched across the walls. "Thank you," the voice said again, louder this time. Jake didn't wait to hear more. He bolted back to his car, heart pounding in his chest. As he drove away, the GPS recalibrated itself, guiding him back to the main road. He couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, and every now and then, he caught glimpses of movement in his rearview mirror, shadows darting between the trees. When he finally reached the city, he pulled over to catch his breath. He opened the app to mark the delivery as complete, but the order was gone. No record of it existed. Even the generous payout had vanished. Jake quit the job the next day. But every now and then, when he drove near the edge of the city, his GPS would glitch, briefly pointing him back toward the woods, toward the cabin. He never took those roads again.